Hey, Adam and Lincoln Auger here. Welcome back to Sport of Business. I'm here along with Amber Wilkerson. Who the hell are you?
I am the genius behind everything Adam does. I'm the one he can give all the credit to. I basically run everything around here.
Yeah, I don't really disagree with that. But Amber's been with us now for a couple years. Wow. Couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And she handles everything. Really her specialty, I would say. You really put focus on social media management, marketing, as well as you're getting into paid advertising that road now. Now let me ask you a question. What was the easiest to learn, social media management or paid advertising? You're learning paid advertising now. What's the easiest?
Oh gosh, social media management.
By a lot, right?
By a long shot.
All right, and what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how you can and I'm not joking when I say this, you can easily make six figures a year. I know that sounds nuts, but you can make six figures a year as a social media manager. And I'm going to explain why. I'm going to be the prosecutor. They're going to be the jury. You're going to be the judge. And you're going to be a little bit of the prosecutor too. I'm going to need your help on this. But my goal of this video is to convince you to take action on what I teach you today or what we teach you today and go and give this a try, because you will be able to do this. This doesn't have to be a full-time gig. You can do this as to make an extra $2, $3, $4 a month on the side. This is a huge opportunity for you. And I'm really excited to get into it. So Amber, let me ask you, if you're watching this video right now, your bullshit meter is through the roof.
Oh yeah.
And without you knowing anything that you know now, if you go back to 2 years ago, what would your thoughts be?
I don't have a college degree. There's no way I could do this. I don't know anything about marketing. I know as much as how to post in my own profile on social media.
Yeah.
This isn't for me. There's no way this could be for me.
So that's why you're going to be so successful with this. There's not a college degree in the world today that's going to teach you more about social media than you already know through the experience that you already have accumulated.
Right.
If you look at me, I'm on the older end of social media, believe it or not, weirdly enough to say. But I've only been using social media now for a little over 1/3 of my life. Now you, for how long now?
Since I was 12, but don't tell my mom.
Right, so over half your life.
Yeah.
Over half of her life. Tell me a corporate job where if you have over 10 years of experience, you're not crushing it. You're not looked at as someone who knows their shit. You're someone who is going to move up the ladder rather quickly, assuming you're good at what you do.
Right.
And that's the type of experience that we all have. You have watching this video right now, assuming that you've been on Facebook, Instagram. You know more about this than a lot of these business owners who have been running their business for the last 20 years the old-fashioned way. The business owners that they set up a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a YouTube channel, and they set it up, but they don't really post that much to it. They post occasionally. They'll do it every now and then, but they're still confused. Here's two things that they know. They know, number one, that social media is the future. They know that all businesses need to be on social media. No one is against that thought.
Right.
Every business owner. My dad's a dairy farmer. He even understands the power of social media. Wouldn't be caught dead on it.
Right.
But knows the value of it. But then the other side of the spectrum, they don't believe it'll work for them. They don't know it's going to work for them. So my goal here is to give you a model of how to learn how to do it above what you already know. How to get clients and how to turn them into to good cash flow for you and good profit for you. So the first thing, and I've already touched on it, is experience is already there.
Right.
We talked about paid ads. You had to go from, and again, you're very early in the process. I'm not sitting here saying that you are the paid ad expert. Yet, exactly. But going from not knowing even how to log in to create a paid ad to being really, really good at it, which you'll eventually get to, is a massive gap.
Right.
Where going from being a social media user to a social media manager is not a big gap.
Well, another difference is ads is you're paying money, you're spending money, where social media management, it's free.
Free. Yep, exactly. So here's the beauty of it. Here's when it comes to getting results, we should always start there. I'm not recommending you go out tomorrow and just start getting businesses to hand you checks. You should develop some skill set here because it is a little different. Learn the algorithms, and this is as easy as looking up Facebook algorithm, YouTube algorithm, how to grow a business with YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Look it up and look at the blog post and YouTube videos on this subject matter. Make sure they're recent, meaning they better be a 2019 version, given we're a month into 2019. Your biggest goal, you have two main reasons why you're going to succeed. Is number one, you're going to stay ahead of the algorithm or with the algorithm. You're going to adjust as it adjusts. And number two, you're going to stay consistent. So Amber, what does it mean when I say you have to stay consistent with the algorithm? What does that mean? What's the algorithm?
The algorithm is kind of the set of rules that each platform plays by when it comes to the content. So, for example, Facebook likes 60-second videos, and anything under that, anything above that isn't going to get as good of results as those that are 60 seconds. So little rules like that, rules of the game that change really frequently, and you have to keep up with it.
Like the size of video or picture you upload to Facebook, if you do it the way that Facebook wants, you get a lot more reach than if you don't. So number one, you can learn this stuff. There's really, you can learn this really quickly. It only takes a day or two to really play around with and learn reading the vlogs, reading the YouTube channels, asking questions below on this video. We'll answer all of your questions if you want more detail on how to do this. And then from there, practically, we were talking earlier, we think that between, I'll say 95 to 99% of all local businesses are not posting consistently or not posting enough.
Fair.
You think that's fair? And this is where you get to come in. Business owners, small business owners are busy people. They're wearing so many hats. They're making sure employees are doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're making sure the financials are in place, that the schedules are moving, that food or product or whatever the inventory is moving the proper way, handling any negativity coming in, any refunds, blah, blah, blah. I could go on. The last thing they're typically thinking about is social media. Again, they know the value, but right now they don't know if it's going to work for them because they've been doing it wrong. It's like if you give me a new airplane, you know, if I walk in, try to fly the airplane, I'm not going to be able to. Right? So I'm not going to hop out and say, this is the airplane's fault, the airplane's broken. But a lot of business owners are kind of like that right now. You know, they can't drive the plane that is social media, so they're pointing at it saying, hey, I know everyone's using this and it's important, but it's not working for me. So that's the complaint that you're going to have to fight against first. Now, here's how to do it. Once you feel like, hey, I've learned some of the algorithm stuff, the cool thing is you're not going to go out and just take money without experience. So the first thing is what?
To go to them and offer free trial.
You got it. Exactly. 30-day free trial. And here's how this is going to go down. You're going to look for perfect prospects. And what the perfect prospect for you is people who already have social media pages, but they're either inactive or they're not posting nearly enough. So if you see someone that's only posting a few times a week on Facebook or Instagram, they're going to be your ideal prospect. What I wouldn't recommend, and I'm sorry if I cut you off, what I wouldn't recommend is going to someone who doesn't have a page yet at all, you know, because they likely have the gap between their knowledge of social media may be far too gone.
I'd start with a local restaurant personally.
What's that?
Because, you know, restaurants there have constant content, so they're running specials, they've got music going on. There's a lot going on with the restaurant every single day, and I personally think that's just a great place to start.
Yeah. So let's just talk about that. How do you find good restaurants in your local Facebook or Instagram, or what would you do first?
What would I do first? I'd look at anything that anybody else was suggesting. I'd go to like there's a local tab on your Facebook page. You can click on that and it's got restaurants, it's got venues, it's got all kinds of things on there that's local specific.
And what I would consider doing is going to Yelp first.
That's a good one.
Looking at all the restaurants on Yelp and, what's the food place we get here all the time? Grubhub. Going through that.
That's a good one.
That's a way that you can really figure out who some of these restaurants are. And then on Instagram, something that you can do is just go to the Explorer tab, search your city, look for people posting food. People are constantly posting food on Instagram. They're going to tag those locations. That's going to give you a good idea of looking. And the Explore tab is where you should start, for all aspects of business. You can go there, really start liking, commenting, interacting with the locals. And that's going to not only help you build up your brand, but it starts to build that local concentric aspect of, you do what you teach.
You can also click on when people tag for example, Roanoke, Virginia on their photos, you can click on Roanoke, Virginia, and it'll bring up everything that's been tagged Roanoke, Virginia. And I've always found that was pretty cool.
Right, exactly. And you want to just really, put that circumference around your area and start there. Once you have a list of all, I would create a list of 100 different perfect fits for you. And then you just simply contact them. Contacting them can be a phone call, it can be a Facebook message. You may want to go through the list once, trying to just Facebook message, make a phone call, see who jumps at the opportunity. And the opportunity is this. I would love to offer you 1 month of free social media. And how it's going to work is, and let me just take over your pages 1 month. I'll come in, I'll create the content for you. You just keep doing what you're doing. If I can't get you 3x, 2x, 3x, 4x, the current engagement rate, the current result, and show you an ROI, then I'll walk away at the end of the month, hand everything right back to you. Worst case, you're going to see growth. Worst case, you're going to see more engagement than you would. Most likely, you're going to make sales that you wouldn't have. And just by doing that and presenting it in that way, you really, as a business owner, you really have nothing to lose.
Right, it's a no-lose situation for both parties.
Right, and now here's where the kicker is, kind of what I would add in when you're pitching these people. They're going to sit there and say, hey, this sounds good. In most cases, some are going to say no, but that's life. In most cases, they're going to say, yeah, this sounds great. And then before you close the deal and say, all right, I'll get started Monday, before you do that, you simply say, and just out of curiosity, you don't have to stay true to this, but if I were to get you X result, if I were to 4x your engagement on social media, next month when we start back up, would that be worth $500 a month to you to keep this going as long as I continue to deliver on that type of result? And this way, they're either going to say yes or no. If they say no, I would recommend you say, hey, I'd love to do this for you, but if you don't see the value, even if I deliver on the result, it's going to be, I need to work with people who are going to ideally move forward with me. No hard feelings.
Or just be even open to the idea of moving forward.
Right, exactly. Because again, at the end of the day, if you're getting the result, if they're a decent business owner, which I've met some dumbasses in my day, don't get me wrong. But if they're a decent business owner, if they see ROI, if you're saying, hell, if you came to me and said, it's $500, but I guarantee you'll make $501 every month from now on, I would say yes. Even if it's just $1 more, so be it. Bring it on.
With the long-term play and the authority building that comes along with a consistent social media presence and growing your audience is just, you can't even put a number on that of value.
So Amber, what if you're starting out, you're committed, you're watching this video saying I'm going to contact some restaurants, and the first thing they're going to say is, hey, well, can you show me some examples of this working? How does it work? What would you do in that case if you don't have a portfolio yet?
I would probably go to other restaurants. So other restaurant pages, be them local or be them in a area that's similar to us.
If we're talking Roanoke, Virginia, something like Asheville.
Asheville's a good one. Even Charlottesville, I think, would probably be a good one. But I would go and get a similar restaurant model. And if you can't find one, just, another restaurant would do. But showing them how they're consistently showing up on social media and how they're consistently posting videos.
So you're saying someone that's already doing a good job.
Right, exactly.
So you'll find someone, you search a different city, do the same research you just did, except you're going to find someone with a similar business model, ideally, a restaurant in this case, and you're going to more or less say, look at these people who, I'm not doing this for them, they're doing it for themselves, or they have someone else doing it, but look at the result that they're getting. This can be you, and I know how to do this, so our pages looks like this, our pictures, our content looks like this, and we can give you a similar result as this. What we're not saying is for you to grab someone else's work and say, look at what we're doing for these guys, even though that's not you doing it. That would be really screwed up and wrong. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with showing someone the type of result that they could be getting if they were to move forward with you.
Right.
So I love that. I think that's awesome. And then from there, it's just from both a result standpoint and from a sales standpoint, this is trial and error. You're going to post content, you're going to learn as you go, and you're going to learn what works for different types of businesses, what types of content works, what type of pitches work for different styles of business owners. And from there, you can scale this. Now, Amber, talk to me about, hey, if you get the job, how much time is going to go into this?
So what you're going to want to do is bulk create. So I would say it would be an hour or 2 a week starting out, tops.
So bulk create, what's that mean?
So that would be setting aside, say if you're working at 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, on Saturday, going in Saturday morning from like 10 to 12 and creating content during that time. And then going home, editing it, and then, scheduling it out to post.
So you're not creating content. You're not going in on Monday and creating content for Monday.
Right.
Right? You're going in on Monday or on Saturday in this example for 2 hours, and you're going to get videos and pictures for ideally the next week to 2 weeks minimum. So at that point, you're going to create enough content for 2 weeks of posting in 1 to 2 hours in being in this location. From there, say if that's on Saturday, you spend an hour at Saturday doing that, either Saturday night or Sunday morning, you can spend another hour uploading the content and scheduling it on Facebook. And then Instagram, you can't schedule on Instagram directly, but you can use tools like Schedulegram and Later.com, which will allow you to schedule Instagram posts as well. So you can go ahead, get all of your content in an hour to 2 hours a week for one business, schedule in about an hour or so for that business for that entire week to 2 weeks, and then you are good to go. You sit back, relax, make sure nothing breaks during that time frame. But for the most part, you have automated the next 2 weeks of your job, and you only have to do this twice a month for $500, $750.
And I would say that time, like even if it's 3 hours a week, I say that time gets a lot shorter as you become more experienced, as you learn what types of copy writing that you need to do with the captions, what types of content does well, stuff like that.
Well, and then you also have the ability as you create a lot of content, there's nothing wrong with reusing content that works. So, I mean, when you're 6 months in, you very likely have enough content for the most part to run on automation.
Right.
And that's a really, really powerful piece to this. And once you get to that point, you're only posting what really works with the audience. The growth just kind of happens at that point. It's really awesome. Now, if you were listening to this at this point, what do you think would be holding you back? What would come to mind where you're like, I still don't think this is right for me?
Well, one, it sounds too good to be true. It does. But two, self-confidence and like, can I actually get them results? Do I have the proper equipment? Do I gotta go out and spend, a couple $1,000s on a camera and microphone and all that? Just the fear of, failing. What if people say no?
Cool. So let's go through some of those. First of all, people are going to say no. That's not failure at all. That's just finding the right fit.
Right.
That's bound to happen. Even to this day, I could walk down the street. I've been able to build millions and millions of followers and fans. I could walk down the street and offer free trials to some business owners. Someone will say no to that. And that's just part of it. Call it ego, call it not believing in social media, whatever their response is, so be it. Be ready for no's, make a game of it. How many no's can you get in a day? Don't be a dick, but you're gonna, go at people with the idea of no, there's nothing wrong with a no. A no is just one step closer to a yes. So that's number one, scratch that off the list. Now, secondly, the lack of confidence in getting results. The beauty of this is you've already done your homework and you've researched your prospects. You are only going after people who are not doing social media good at all. Just by showing up and posting based on the algorithm, even if you don't get it perfect, you don't get it right, you can easily 10x or reach 10x engagement for a business in under 30 days. By just simply showing up, creating content, and having content go out every single day. The results, it's honestly, I love this model because the results come very easily through consistency and just trying to, number one, do what the algorithms want, but number two, actually just ask the community to engage. Comment below, like this post, little things like that people will follow you.
Basically going under the local spirit. People love to support local things, and playing off of that as well it's done crazy results for us.
And then the final thing that you mentioned was tools. We're using a Sony A7 camera right now. It's about a $5,000 setup. Facebook would go under if they expected everyone on Facebook or Instagram, on social media, to have rigs like this to create content. That is the last thing that they want as platforms. They want you to use your They want you to use your smartphone. That's it. They do not want you to have some fancy ass camera. They want you on your cell phone. They want the ability for every single person, or practically everyone, who's in a country that has the ability to have these things and have the internet and have Facebook. They want everyone to have the easiest direct access to being able to create content. Do not use anything but your cell phone. Now, I would recommend stability. I would recommend you can get a little audio plug-in so you can walk around and hold a mic out if someone's talking. But outside of that, only use this tool right here. Do not invest in anything fancy, because it is a huge waste of money. And in my opinion, it's only going to slow your job down. Being able to take a video and be able to schedule it from here is going to allow you to do things on the run and in the moment, and you are only going to see better results.
Yep, I agree.
So any last thoughts, ideas? You are someone, I'm going to put you on the spot here, 2 years ago before you started working with us, you would have been skeptical.
Oh, for sure.
You would have said there's no way that someone can make six figures doing something without a college degree.
I definitely said those words.
Right. So what would your response be if you're looking through that camera, you're talking to you from 2 years ago? What are you saying?
Don't get in your own way. There is a lot of opportunity, and the barrier to entry is a lot easier than what you think it is. So do your research, read your vlogs, go and ask business owners, learn about them, and accept your no's and celebrate your yeses.
Love it. Awesome. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know below if this was helpful. Give us a like as well as comment below. Let us know if you're going to either give this a try, know someone who is doing it and what the results that they're getting below, or in your city, town, wherever. And also let us know what your thoughts are on this model. We're going to keep business models like this coming. So if this one's not quite for you, don't worry, be on the lookout. We got more coming. So thank you. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Talk to you soon.